All right, all right, all right. Well, are you ready? Here we go, baby. All righty. Welcome to the Gridiron. Basically, we will talk about how great the New York Giants are and how badly the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys blow, because I hate them. I can't stand them, especially the Eagles. I said, welcome to the Gridiron. If you could please give this video a thumbs up, share this video, subscribe to the channel. That would be freaking awesome. A little ways down, actually in the description box, very top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second membership level I got is called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one has a little their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I thank you in advance. And then just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. It takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants to Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 8,800 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, might I add. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in that group darn near 365. And then a link underneath it, it's my Twitter account. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. All right, guys. Hey, big day. Big day. Are you coming at you? 3D. Are you ready for some? Where's the camera? Hey, ready for some football? Huh? I'm a bum. I'm a slacker. I've watched any of the game, but as we speak, it's delayed. I don't know. Is that a rain delay or what's going on there? Interesting. Oh, weather attendance. Severe weather is approaching. Please seek shelter immediately. Get here. Will you just shut the front door? Well, it's got some bad weather, but the Bears are winning 21-17. It's, I don't know, third quarter. Looks like third quarter. But here's a picture here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now, of course, it's got to be a 7-hour ad. But suspended Texas Bears Hall of Fame game suspended due to weather. Very interesting. Of course, to watch something, you got to watch. I have to watch an ad first. All right. Attention, severe weather is approaching. Please seek shelter immediately. Interesting. Bad weather bearing down on them. Okay, so we can't watch the Hall of Fame game right now. It's don't know how long it's going to be suspended for, but I think with the Bears, I think I saw that they weren't even going to put their starters in there, not like that. But hey. It's football. I don't care if it's the Texans. I don't care if it's the Bears. It's football. Right? It's it's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling, isn't it? And that has changed because I remember my son and I 2 times we went to Canton. 2006 actually was good for me and him. We both times it was because the Cowboys had guys going in, but 2006 and 2010. 2006, Harry Carson went in, so 2006 was a really great class. My goodness, 4 out of the 6 guys were basically from like the NFC East. Reggie White, Rayfield Wright, Rayfield Wright, Harry Carson, Troy Aikman. There was also Warren Moon, and how cool is this? John Madden went in. I got I videotape. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely, I can't even talk. It's just unbelievable. I just can't stand it. It's just about the money. 2006, I brought a video camera with me, and we were on the side of the stage. It was hot. Oh my God, the sun was up. It was hot. Can I say one more time? It was hot, really, really hot. The sun was in our eyes and everything like that. But I was on the side of the stage in 2006, and I was video recorder out. I was video recording, And I remember John Madden, he was talking, he was talking about the bus talking to each other. And he was with the guys are out in the crowd. And I remember John Davidson, about Ben Davidson, and all of his old players standing up. And, no, keep standing up. Don't sit down. And he had everybody laughing and stuff like that. And I was video recording the whole thing. And Harry Carson came out of video recording, almost all of it, And then with 2010, when we went back, because Emmett Smith and Jerry Rice went in. The two of the you can say whatever you want to say, but the most receiving yard wide receiver and the most rushing yard running back went in the same time. So we went in 2010, but 2010 you couldn't videotape because I think they recorded it and so they could sell it so they can make money. It's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. But it was just weird because, when we 2006, and I believe it was 2010 too, the last thing they did, and they switched this stuff around. I don't know why, but we got there. I think I can't remember if we got there Thursday. I think we got there Thursday because it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I remember Friday morning, I think there was the parade. I don't know if we got up early to see the parade or not, or what. I don't know. But there was there was the gold jacket ceremony. There was a dinner. There was a round table where they asked a bunch of questions. There was the induction ceremony. There was all kinds of stuff going on. It's a whole weekend. And one of the afternoons, obviously, there was a bunch of tents outside. They had, Hall of Fame guys signing, but they also had other guys there. I got the only 2 autographs that I got for me, which I'm passing on to my son. But I got Dick Butkus and I got Gale Sayers. Those are the only 2 that I got. Those were guys. I mean, I'm a Giant fan. I got Bears guys. But I remember the last thing they did on the Hall of Fame weekend was the game. It was Sunday. The game started at maybe 7 o'clock or so. And the game went on to whatever, 10. We got in our car. We weren't very far from the stadium, maybe like 5 miles, 10 miles, whatever it was. I couldn't remember. So we got in there and we drove back, and we went to bed. We woke up Monday morning, and the cool thing was that we had access to the Hall of Fame. So we went in Friday, I think, or Thursday, the first day we got there, and we went in and walked around the Hall of Fame. But Monday we drove back to the Hall of Fame after we checked out of our hotel. So we went back to the Hall of Fame. Walked around for a little while. We walked around the field. The field was empty. It was a videotape the field, whatever. But so we went back into the Hall of Fame. Everybody had left for the most part. So it was like barren. There wasn't much of, wasn't, there were a couple people there, not much. So we walked around the Hall of Fame. It was fantastic. Loved it and all and everything. And then we drove home because we were about 7 hours away because it's just kind of into Ohio. We got to drive all the way across Pennsylvania to get to Jersey. So it was about 6, 7. It depends upon how the traffic is and how fast I was driving. But I remember, I think it was in 2010 as well, too. I think the last thing that happened was Sunday night was the game, and then it was over. Somewhere along the line, they switched it where the first thing that's going on is like the game, and then everything else is after that. But it is what it is. But I guess, I don't know. Let's see. Still got a delay going on. Still delayed. 21-17. I mean, a lot of these guys you're never going to see. But I mean, I didn't even think that. I remember when it was. The first game, 2006, I remember the Eagles played the Raiders, and then in 2010, the Bengals played the Cowboys. So I was like a double dipper for my son. He's a Cowboy fan. So it was in 2010, we saw Emmitt Smith go in, plus we saw the Cowboys play. But I remember in 2006, it was only for like a drive. I think it was at the most. I don't even know if it was the first quarter. Might have been just the first drive. I remember the Eagles kind of walked down the field and scored a touchdown. and like the first drive, and then I think they pulled the stars out. I remember Randy Moss was what was it? Randy Moss? Who was somebody? Let's see here. I'm trying to think. Randy Moss. I think I remember Warren Sapp. I saw Warren Sapp. I think he was on the. Was he on the right? Let me see here. Let me check this out here. I got to check this out here. How about, let me check. 2006 Oakland Raiders. I'm trying to think. I don't know what I saw. I'm thinking Warren Sapp and Randy Moss, rosters and players. Let's see. Warren Sapp, who was their defensive tackle, I guess. Oh, yeah, Randy Moss. Yeah. Yep. Because they played like one series. So I remember Warren Sapp and Randy Moss. The Eagles walked down the field in the first, because the Eagles were good back then. Because that was back then. They went to 4 straight championships, so they were good. They were, really, really good. They walked down the field. They scored a touchdown. I think the Raiders wound up winning. I think it was 13-10. So the Eagles scored like early, but then like the Raiders came back. But I mean, once the second and third stringers got in, it was kind of sloppy and all and everything. But I said, and then 2010 was the Cowboys and the Bengals, so that really helped my son, because we basically we went there. 2010 was because of Emmitt Smith going in. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't even imagine what the prices are nowadays. I said when we went 2006, it was fantastic. We went to an agency, sports travel and tour, I think it was, or whatever it was, but they really hooked us up. I mean, obviously you had to pay money, but it was like maybe about $2,000, somewhere around there a person, $1,900 maybe a person. So it was me, but they got the hotel and all that. We obviously had to buy your own food and the souvenirs and all that stuff, but it was like maybe like $3,500, maybe $4,000 for the two of us. But that was the hotel. And, everything was the game and the gold jacket, the ceremony, obviously the parade was free, but, got you into a bunch of stuff. But then we went in 2010, the prices rose up, and there was one of them. I remember it was like the gold jacket ceremony or something like that. We couldn't go to, but we paid, I think we paid more money than we did in 2006, but we could see that we couldn't actually get in there. We could, where was that? We had to sit, we were sitting, we can watch it on a screen, So, I mean, so you paid more money and you got less. It was just, I couldn't even imagine what it is nowadays. I mean, it's just, once again, I'm an old fart, so forgive me, but the more it is about the money, I just can't stand it. Absolutely. I mean, it's like, where's the part where it's about the fans? Where's the part it's about football? Sharing the football. Where I can't stand it. But I'll tell you what. I've always said. I said this to my son. Because I lived in New York, and I moved down here to South Jersey. Of course, we're close to Philadelphia. And I'll tell you what. I both times I went there. Now I'm just talking about the people from Ohio, not people like maybe, who traveled there and all. But I'll tell you what, both times I went to Ohio, in Canton, that area. But after we got done, I'm driving away and I'm like, I don't think I heard one 4-letter word the whole time I was there. And that's all you hear here in New York and around here. Every other word's a 4-letter. It was unbelievable. I'm like, man, I don't think I heard one curse word the whole time I was there. I was thinking, like, especially the first time. It was just, so when we went back in 2010, I just want to make sure, because I remembered from 2006, when we went back in 2010, that Canton, I just want, just make sure. And I tell you what, I don't know if maybe I heard one, maybe, but I know I almost positive the first time I went in 2000, I was just like almost in awe, because I don't think I'd ever been, because for the most part, I lived in Long Island, moved down here to South Jersey, around Philadelphia, and that's all you hear is 4-letter words. From the kids, people talking to police officers like that, and people just normal conversations and all that stuff. You get used to that. But I mean, I was trying to wait in 2000. I mean, 2006. I was like, think we got there Thursday and we left Monday. And I'm like, man, I don't think I heard one 4-letter word. I mean, wow. Yeah. I mean, I'm like, there's such a place that exists. Very nice people. And a lot of those people in the area of Canton, they live for this weekend because you can park on their lawn, right? If you're going to go to the game or you're going to go to Canton or whatever, that you can park on their lawn. They'll get like some places, depends upon how big the property. They don't have big houses there, especially right by Canton, the Hall of Fame and all that. The properties aren't very big, but some places get maybe 5, 6, 7 cars, whatever, on their property. And they charge you I don't know, whatever, $20, whatever. I forgot what it was. I think it was $20, but this was 15 years ago. So you can park on their lawn, and but I mean, a lot of them, they would have stuff that, the people would come out. There were coolers and had bottles of water you could buy for $1 or something like that, or they'd have souvenirs they'd sell. So a lot of people in that area right there, very close to, you park and you're walking by these people's houses. You can either pull on their lawn, and pay, or they'd be selling stuff and stuff like that. So a lot of these people, they kind of live for this one weekend. I mean, they make some extra money. The pot, it's not like, it's not like you're driving into, it's like looking at mansions and stuff like that. It's just very small houses, very, very nice people though. Very, very nice area. If you ever get a chance, I mean, even if you don't go for the Hall of Fame weekend, it's really, really nice. And I'm sure we haven't been there in 15 years. I'm sure it's built up even more, because they were adding on to it and stuff like that. And obviously each year they're adding, God, what I add, 7, 8 people a year. So, I mean, since the last time we've been there, I'm sure there's at least another 100 people that have been ducking into the Hall of Fame. So, really, really cool. I mean, if you're into that, if you're into that nostalgia and all that stuff, great place to go. Great place to go. All right. But, how everybody was complaining like the sky was falling and stuff like that. The offense stunk on Tuesday, and the Empire struck back. So, which is something, obviously you don't want to hear the defense won the last 13, training camp episode, where the offense just dominated the defense for the past 2 weeks. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear a little that. You want to hear, a little back and forth, right? So apparently it was a good day for the offense. But the defense had some good stuff too. But Giants' Daniel Jones puts together his best day of training camp yet. But there's, as I said, there was certainly some good stuff from the defense too. Alex Johnson, undrafted rookie cornerback from UCLA, is lining up at safety in this camp. He flashed with 2 splash plays, coming up with the diving interceptions off deflected passes thrown by Drew Lock and Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan. There he is, number 25. Let's see. We get it. The team cannot be in full pads every day. That's right. These players were in shells Thursday. Thus, there was a sharp downturn in how physical the 11-on-11 periods could be. Let's see. After a sluggish practice Tuesday, Daniel Jones, on a hot day, put together his best action so far this summer, highlighted by deep completions for touchdowns to Malik Nabers and Jalen Hyatt, a nice toss to rookie Theo Johnson, and several on-target shorter throws. I mean, there's this one here to Hyatt. I mean, Hyatt just like 9 yards behind everything. He's like waving his hands. I mean, I wish I could share my screen, but I can't. But there's one video. I mean, Hyatt's my guy's like 10 yards behind, and he's got to slow down a little bit for the ball. And the cornerback, I didn't see what number it was, almost caught up to him. But Hyatt's like running. He's like, almost 10 yards behind the defense, waving his hand. But he throws them the ball, and Jalen's like, he's got to comes back for it a little bit before the cornerback was able to recover and almost knock the ball down. But he had a good day. Tyler Nubin returned to practice after missing most of camp with a calf issue. So let's hope. We're going to talk a little bit more about Tyler Nubin and somebody else, one of the other safeties, toward the end of this video. Sexy Dexy was on the field, and his usage is being ramped up as he recovers from an illness. Special teamer Carter Coughlin was out with a lower body issue. Ooh, that's not good. John Michael Schmitz did not work once again, unfortunately. All right, what else we got here? Takeaways from Thursday's practice. This is from Nick Filato. So there's going to be, Nick does a fantastic job. Unfortunately, if I read everything and we did I'll be here like 9.5 years going over this thing. He puts in he does a phenomenal job. Very detailed oriented. He puts videos in and stuff like that and all and everything. And, but if you read everything he puts down, I'll be here like 4:00 in the morning. But, he said quarterback Daniel Jones continued to take every snap with the first team. Jones kept the offense on track and found quick solutions. He took what Shane Bowen gave him. Locke tends to hold on to the football a bit too long. He does well to buy time with his legs. He doesn't benefit from Nabers, nor does he benefit from a first-team offensive line, which is true. Plus he also has to learn the offense, too. Daniel Jones is third year in the offense. Drew Lock is his first year in the offense. There was a difference. There were multiple design quarterback runs for Lock. Once again, Tommy DeVito had his misses, but he did connect with Bryce Ford Wheaton on a tight window dig route over the middle of the field. Giants ran several screens and quick passes for Singletary, Wando Robinson, and Tyrone Tracy. Giants used a 21 personnel package with Singletary and Tyrone Tracy in the game. 2 running backs. Ooh, like that. Tracy had an impressive blitz pickup on a team period. Eric Gray worked with the first and second team. He looked decisive running the football. I heard he had a touchdown. He ran from a yard out. I think he also heard he had a nice diving reception as well, too, because he's fighting for a job. Now, not so, he's fighting for a job to be on the team. Oh, what's up, buddy? Goofballs in the house. But, they might try to, he might be maybe the one they maybe try to, maybe. There's still got a ways to go. But, the stuff you're hearing about Turbo and what you're hearing about Tracy is that, Eric Gray's, he's got a little bit of a fight on his hand. And if obviously still got some ways to go. Right? We got a couple practices with the Lions. We got with the Jets. And we got the 3 preseason games. So we got a ways to go. Now, but Gray, he's got a fight. He's got a fight on his hands. So what we got? Miller and Gunnar Olszewski were used as red zone read option play for a split back with the third team. Malik Nabers is different. He beat Cordell Flott on a TD only by about 5 yards. Here we go. This is it. Gray caught a wheel route and stride from Drew Lock. Gray was initially beat around the edge, a 6-man protection, but did just enough to shove the on-rushing defensive back away from Drew Lock. Turbo Miller received first-team reps today. He did have 2 rough drops in practice, but stayed late and worked with Daniel Jones after practice. Darius Slayton was giving Miller tips on catching. Okay, that's good. McKenzie received first-team reps with Dante Miller. Lock hit McKenzie in stride. Isaiah Hodgins created separation along the sideline for a 12-yard gain from Lock on an out. I heard he did a good job of just getting Lock went to his left, and he obviously throwing with his right, which is not an easy thing to do. But he threw it to Hodgins, and Hodgins managed to catch the ball and keep his feet in bounds. Giants dialed up a first-team tight end screen to Theo Johnson. The third-team tight end screen was dialed up to Adoree Jackson. Stahl had 2 impressive catches. Andrew Thomas handled his business today versus Kayvon and Brian Burns. Jermaine Luminor showed off his strength and pass protection by throwing Ryder Anderson up to the ground on his wide rush. Now, Ryder's he's a tall dude. Ryder's a tall dude. He's like 6'6", I think he is. We got, Roten earned early first-team reps but took it easy in today's practice. I think he was on a pitch count. Schlappman also received first-team reps. At center, Stenny also received first-team reps. Azuda received his first reps at guard. Okay, because what I've been hearing, they've been he's been like the swing tackle. Playing second-team left guard. He also worked at left tackle on the second team. Okay, the Giants' first-team defense was dime with Belton, Flott, Phillips, and McLeod. And there would probably be a Karake. Karake used his length to knock a pass away from Theo Johnson. Isaiah Simmons worked with the second, third teams at linebacker. Simmons used his length to earn a pass breakup versus Adoree Jackson. Deontay Banks earned a pass breakup versus Wando Robinson. In punt drills, there was no coverage. Yair Asante had a muff punt, and Isaiah McKenzie tried to reach a short punt but failed to do so, resulting in a fumble. Yeah, that ain't good. In the 14th period, Bowen was screaming at his sideline over a substitution error. Ooh, that's not good. But once again, this is all stuff that, if you're going to screw stuff up, you want to do it now. Everybody's going to surprise people. Hasn't played until you basically would have been. Yeah, I can't remember. From Big Blue Kickoff Live, I can't remember if it was Matt Sitek or if it was Schmelk or it was Paul Datino. One of those guys said something like, man, you get that guy, and if you give him, he just takes off. It's like, he's like gone. I think they said a couple of times he was like a man on a wheel route, and they on Big Blue Kickoff Live, because I think they work for the Giants, they're not allowed to say what formations they were in or maybe necessarily who was covering them or whatever. But I think they said he was being covered by a linebacker, and it was like it was just a mismatch. I'd be shocked if Tracy's not on the 53. We got Motor Singletary, so who's going to be that other back? I just hear a lot of goods. Once again, it's still early, but the dude runs under a 4.3. That guy can freaking fly. Holy cow! Let's see. Then we had I can't remember who it was. Somebody had. Oh, Ross Tucker. There it is. It says it right here. On Ross Tucker, his football podcast, he was talking to Darren Waller. And Darren, pretty much had nice things to say. Darren Waller was asking about Daniel Jones, the Giants, and more during the recent appearance on the Ross Tucker podcast, as he was asked about various topics pertaining to his NFL career. Here's some of the highlights of what Waller had to say about a short stint with the Giants. Daniel Jones isn't the problem. From the moment he was traded to the Giants, Waller said he had spent plenty of time working with quarterback Daniel Jones, while Jones takes a lot of heat for the Giants' struggles. Waller says his former quarterback isn't to blame, as the offensive line's inability to protect him was the biggest issue a season ago. We were going into the season like, man, this season might be special. Then it was like we couldn't really protect him. You can't expect anyone to be successful with the pocket looking like it was last year on our team on a week in and week out basis. Waller said Jones didn't get a fair chance to improve upon his play after receiving his contract extension, and hopes that the protection is better for him heading into the new season. He says the Giants organization treats people right. While he only spent one season with the Giants, Waller seemed impressed with how ownership treats its players. Waller said the Giants do things the right way, citing the organization's willingness to pay for acupuncture treatments and massages, while also going above and beyond for players' families throughout training camp and the season. Then he asked him, so why'd you retire? I came to my decision in the summer by evaluating through most of the offseason. I was leaning towards retiring the whole way. He said, I was just trying to evaluate whether this is a little premature, or is this emotional due to frustrations with the game, or is this kind of true burnout? I gave it all that I had, and I played honestly longer than I may have wanted to, because when you're in your prime, there's pressure to continue and to try to find new levels of greatness. There was a lot of things I considered, but I realized that just purely to the game and he process of football and that all it requires, I don't have 100% to give to that. I don't think I have close to 100% to give to that, and I don't think that's fair to the people who love watching me play, the teams that I played for and the guys I lined up with. I don't think it's fair to them or myself. So, he was honest, right? What can you say? But he did have some nice things to say about the Giants, and that's true. I mean, even Joe Shane mentioned that too. He said, even Patrick Mahomes couldn't possibly have played well behind the offensive line we had last year. Then Mr. Mara talked, right? He's still happy the Giants gave Daniel Jones the $160 million contract. John Mara doesn't have $160 million worth of buyer's remorse on Daniel Jones. What he expects to have soon is a final answer on whether the Giants have a franchise quarterback. I'm still happy we gave him that contract because I thought he played really well for us in 2022, Mara said of the 4-year extension Jones signed in March of 2023. Last year he got hurt, and let's be honest, when he was playing, we weren't blocking anybody. Let's give him a chance with a better offensive line and some weapons around him and see what he can do. 1 year after extending Jones, instead of using the 1-year franchise tag, which then went to Saquon Barkley, the Giants would publicly pursue Jones' replacement on Hard Knocks. Yep. This is General Manager Joe Shane and head coach Brian Daboll scouted and tried to no avail to trade up to draft either Jaden Daniels or Drake May, citing Jones' history of 2 neck injuries and a torn ACL. I was nervous about giving up too much to get a quarterback, Mara said, but I was prepared to let them do that if that's what they wanted to do. We made a decision to stay with Daniel and add a weapon for him, and I think that's going to work out. Obviously, that weapon is Malik Nabers. I'm excited to see I'm excited by what I see on the field, Mara said. He's got some unique movement skills to him and a certain attitude about him. Mara isn't concerned that his signing off on it, drafting a quarterback ruffled Jones's feathers. Well, hey, might have lit a fire inside Daniel Jones, right? Oh yeah, you want to draft the quarterback? Okay, all right, I'll show you. So. I check in with him from time to time, and he's a professional. He understands this business, Mara said. If anything, it probably motivates him, and he doesn't need to be motivated. I expect him to have a great season. Mara once joked the Giants would be featured on Hard Knocks over his dead body. Said the Giants wound up creating a new offseason version different from the traditional show focused on training camp. It worked out about as well as I ever could have expected, Mara said. I was certainly a little nervous about it going in. It was a pretty honest depiction of what goes on, and I think people appreciated having that kind of access. There were some uncomfortable moments in there, but all in all, I'm glad it's over. So every year is going to be a personnel decision I'm not 100% in favor with, Mara said, but you let the general manager and coach, particularly if they have a unified conviction, make the decisions and then bitch about it later. Let's see. He said, no, I wasn't crazy about it at the time. I didn't want to lose Barkley, Mara said, but I understand what the philosophy was. You have to let them do their job. So, a lot of people like, kind of like, some seem to think that Mara interferes too much. He's a little too he's telling them what to do or what not to do and stuff like that. And one thing you can pretty much see from Hard Knocks, he comes, he's there. It's his life. He's not on his yacht, 6 days a week, and then he comes in, drinking beer and burping. What's going on? How's it going? Yeah. Oh, how we looking? Look good? Okay. I'll see you next Sunday. He's there. He's like his father, Wellington. He's there. Right? He's like part of the furniture. Sorry, buddy. I gotta move my legs sometimes, and my dog Randy. So he's like, Bart, he's there. That's his life, right? So he's letting, Shane and Dable, they have good communication skills. He said that, they work stuff out. And he has conviction in them, and he lets them do their job. So, is he there? Yeah, all the time. Does he give his 2 cents? Yeah, but does he tell them what to do? No. That's Shane's job. Well, it's a big year, and they keep and like every year they're what do you need? What do you want? Like 9 wins? Is that a good season? Or is it you got to win a Super Bowl? John, he says every year, and they get these same questions every year. Ooh, sorry, every year they always ask him. Well, what's a good 10 wins? Is that a good season? You be happy with that? Every year he says the same thing. And I don't know why they keep asking the question. It's like, I need to walk off the field by pretty much like the end of the season. I said, all right, we're making progress. He says the same thing, from I can remember, every year. And they were asked, because they were asking him today, how many wins you need? You need to make the playoffs? But, obviously we need improvement. And if we only win 7 games, what's the context? Were we pretty much healthy and we just stunk? Were we 7-10, and out of those 10 losses, 8 of them were by 1 point? You got some context to it, right? As I said, were we 7-10? Everybody was healthy, and we tried our best, and we only won 1 more game. That's not good. Were we 6-11, and everybody was healthy, and everybody tried, and we just lost? That's not good. I said, so if we only win like 7 games or 6 or something, what happened? I said, like last season, what happened? Well, the offensive line was absolutely horrible. Injuries, absolutely horrible offensive line. We lost our starting quarterback 2 times. We lost our second string quarterback. We had a third string quarterback in there who was 3-3. We had, statistically wise, by the amount of sacks given up, it was like the second worst in history of the NFL. Right? We had third string quarterback in there, and we still won 6 games. And if Graham Gano's, I think it's his plant leg, if that wasn't injured, or if we had, if he was like, if he said, I'm not feeling, I don't think I should be in here or something. If he went up to Coach Dable or somebody, I'm playing on my plant leg, and I think it's really going to hurt our chances of maybe making a field goal or kicking or something like that. I think maybe you should try to get something. So maybe we had a kicker in there, a healthy kicker. The kick that Cano missed was only like a 30-something yard field, 35. It was a short field goal. Most field goal kickers, would probably make it, but, possibly because Graham Gano was injured, he missed it. Now, as I said, if we had a healthy kicker in there, right? Once again, injured. We got injuries, right? But I said, if we had a healthy kicker in there, maybe he makes that field goal. We quite possibly beat the Jets. And then with the second worst offensive line, possibly in the history of the NFL, all those injuries, we had a third string quarterback in there, but we could have gone possibly 7-10, 7 wins. People would say that's a horrible season, but you got to give some context to it. What happened? Right? There was a couple of the games we just got. The Dolphin game, both Cowboy games, we gave up. The second game, we gave up over 600 yards of offense. We lost, obviously, and then we lost the 40-0 game, the 49er game. So the Dolphin game was just unbelievable. What was it? What was this, 33-16 or 32-16, whatever it was? But there was the one that was like a 14-point swing, that one play. Pinnock's touchdown. That's the only touchdown we scored against Miami. But even if he throws the ball into the dirt, Tua, and they kick a field goal, they beat us like 35-9. So we got blown out. you know what I mean, in quite a few of those games. So, but, you know, as I said, once again, at the end of the season, right, all the smoke clears, the dust settles, step back, and what happened? What was the record? And, you know, so I said, so Maris says, like, you know, once the season's over, I want to walk off the field. You know, are we going in the right direction? And it won't be a hard decision, especially after last season. You know. Right. All right. Next, what do we got here? Oh, and a good old. Let's see. Did they start it yet? Oh, final. Oh, they called it. Wow, called it. 21-17. Third quarter. Holy cow. Holy cow, Batman. Wow, Storm shortened victory. Wow. Watch from the sideline. New kickoffs didn't provide any excitement. Oh, well. Okay. So Storm shortened victory. Well, I guess it is what it is. But, you know, it's one of those things. You know, with stuff to point out here, like Azeez Ojulari is the last of the Mohicans, or in this case, the last of the 2021 draft class. And I'll tell you what, you're looking at, you're talking about how injuries can just throttle you. I mean, just kill you. You look at this 2021 class. Oh my God. I mean, we're just talking injuries. I mean, I don't know. One injured player after the other. And even Azeez Ojulari, who's the last one in the 2021 draft class that's on the Giants roster. Okay. I mean, as of right now, right, I think all of Shane's draft picks, all 24 of them are still on the 90-man roster. Now, that's probably not going to continue once we start the regular season, because after they cut down to 53, there's a good chance one or two of these guys might be gone. But I mean, if you look at this 2021 roster, this draft class, oh my God! I mean, if the word injuries doesn't pop out at you, it's like Kadarius Toney. I mean, just the guy's just a total, absolute nutcase. I mean, absolute freaking nutcase. But what happened? He gets injured all the time. Now, they played 3 seasons so far. So 17, 17, and 17. It's 51 games at the most. All right. Now, I'm not talking about playoffs and all like that. But out of a possible 51 games, okay, the Giants had 6 draft picks. Had a first, a second, a third, a fourth, and 2 6. We didn't have a fifth, didn't have a seventh. Out of a possible 51 games, Tony's played in 32 now. Obviously, this includes with the Chiefs. Now, I don't know out of the 32 if that includes postseason games. That I don't know. All right. Azeez Ojulari's played in 51, 35 out of 51. But 7/10. Basically, 7/10 of the games. 7 out of every 10 games he's played in. Ron Robinson played in a grand total of 11 games for the New York Football Giants. Hadn't played in a game in over 2 years. You feel horrible for these guys, but sometimes I just can't even speak. How do these guys make it through college and then they get to the pro Aaron Robinson, as soon as we drafted him, he had muscle core surgery. Then he came back. I know then in 2022, he played the first week. Then he's had his appendix removed. He missed 2 weeks. He came back and he blew his knee. I can't even talk. It's just, how do these guys make it through high school and college, and then they get to the pros and they can't even walk onto a field without like blowing their Achilles out or something? It's just unbelievable. Shane Lemieux, another one. Absolutely freaking unbelievable how the guy can't even walk onto a field without blowing his knees out or something. It's just unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. I mean, where we at? You know, Azeez Ojulari, injuries. Aaron Robinson, Ellerson Smith. Oh, my God. What did he play in? 13 games. Aaron Robinson played in 11 games. Gary Brightwell, although Gary Brightwell played in 37 games, but he got released like an injury designation, but he played in 37 games, but a lot of that was by special teams. Okay, it wasn't so much, but you know, he had him on the field in the starting lineup or anything like that, but he played in 37 games. So is he the leader? He's the leader, Gary Brightwell. He's not even on the team no more. Then, of course, Darius Williams. He played in a grand total of 8 games. Let's see here. 20, let's see here. Darius Williams, that was a cornerback. He played 2 seasons for the Giants. He played rookie season. He played in 5 games. 2022, he played in 3 games. He had 1 start. But once again, he's a 6th-round pick. You know, a lot of times you don't know. It's not always like, you know, don't look at a 6th-round pick and go, this guy's going to be a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? A lot of times 6th-round picks are kind of crapshoots, you know. But I'll tell you what, if you want to look at a draft class that is just has the word injuries, I mean, that's the 2021 class. So Azeez Ojulari, a guy who has tendency to get injured, he's the last guy from that 2021 draft class that's on the Giants, and that's absolutely freaking pathetic. It was only 6 picks, but I mean, just unbelievable. That's what Gettleman left us with. That's with Kadarius Toney, Azeez Ojulari, Aaron Robinson, Ellerson Smith, Gary Brightwell, and Darius Williams. Oh my freaking God! I said, Kadarius, what a nutcase he is. Azeez Ojulari. Then again, to be, you know, if Azeez did not have, the injury problems, or injury issues or whatever coming out of college, he would have been a 1st-round pick. And you know, to be fair, you know, he had his injury issues coming out of college, and the Giants are saying that. You know, but I mean, oh my goodness, Aaron Robinson, Ellerson Smith, Gary Brightwell, Darius, just wow. There's another one reason why, you know, I mean, like, the smart, tough, and dependable department come in. You know, we're only bringing in guys who, who have don't have a history for the most part of being injured or being injured long, or a history of multiple injuries or this, that. You know, I mean, so we're bringing in smart, tough, and dependable. But I'll tell you what, the 2021 draft class only, draft class from 4 years ago, we got 1 guy left on the roster. I mean, he'll make the, as long as he can stay healthy and all that, he's making the 53. But this might be Azeez Ojulari's latest season with the Giants. That we'll have to wait and see. You can never have too many edge rushers. The thing is that after the season's over with, because he's a 2nd-round pick, he can't pick up his 5th-year option or like that. So he's going to be a free agent. He's going to want to get paid, but you don't know what he's going to command on the open market. You don't know. Will the Giants bring him back? Will they want to bring him back? Once again, because he wasn't drafted by Shane or Dable. The thing would stink would be like, let's say, when we lost, who did we lose? We lost, where is he here? Camp Brown, that Brunson. Where the heck is he? Lorenzo Carter. We lost Lorenzo Carter. I think he went to the Falcons, I think it was. Yeah. And he only went there for a few $1 million. I'd be interested to see after the season's over with, what do we wind up doing with Azeez Ojulari? Do we try to bring him back? As, with his injury history, if you can bring him back, you don't want to say a team-friendly deal, but does he want to come back? You can never have too many pass rushers, and to let him go would be such a shame. But the thing is, all it takes is one team like the Philadelphia Eagles, who have basically no salary cap. Yeah, they have no salary cap. They're bringing anybody they want. I mean, they have so many guys that have void years at the end of their contracts and all that. There's no salary cap with the Eagles, right? So I said, all it takes is one team to go in there and blow, Azeez, we'll give you this much. Yeah, you'll give me that much, and take them, take them away from the Giants. So it's going to be interesting to see. But also, a lot of it also depends upon Azeez. Can he stay healthy this whole season? But I mean, if he can stay healthy, he's a nice, viable option coming off the bench. If Burns gets injured or Kayvon gets injured or something, whatever, he's a nice. I'm also kind of interested to see, would there be a point in time, right, where maybe you have Dexter Lawrence, maybe you slide Kayvon in, right? You have Burns on the outside, and you have Azeez. You got 4 guys there that can rush the passer, maybe on a 3rd down or something like that. That would be pretty cool. Because I mean, with Nacho, he's more of a run-oriented defender. I mean, he might get you a sack every now and then, but that's not his forte. I don't know if Ryder Anderson or DJ Davidson or Boogie Basham or Phillips or Riley. I mean, I don't know how. What type of sack production you're going to expect out of those guys. But I mean, if we can get, Azeez, Burns, Thibodeau, and Sexy Dexy on the field at the same time, that gets a nice pass push. That's for sure. But it's just a shame. It just goes to show you. I mean, you want to draft them, develop them, and keep them. And the 2021 draft class, although we only had 6 guys, Azeez Ojulari is the last guy. He's the last Mohican. And after this season's over with, he might be gone. Right? So then nobody in the 2021 draft class will still have, So that's another one of the things is that, unfortunately, when you keep having this turnover, when you have you turn over GMs, when you turn over coaches and all of that, they come in and they look at the roster. It's like, okay, there's a few guys I'll keep, but the rest of the guys, they're not my guys. I don't want them. So they got drafted by the GM and all that, and the new coach that comes in just starts letting these guys go left and right because they're not his guys. I mean, that's the one thing about bringing these new regimes in every couple of years, right? All right, and then Shane Bowen, right, said it's his job to lose. Talking about Dane Belton, Mr. Johnny on the spot. Starting safety job. It's Dane Belton's job to lose. Now, I'll have to wait and see. I mean, if Nubin can, get, he was on the field, right? If he can keep, if he can say keep his calf healthy, right, and stay on the field, it's going to be a nice little battle between Belton and Nubin. I mean, if you look at their 2, because you can't go. Once again, I'm going by PFF. That's all I'm going by. But if you look at their PFF rankings and whatever from college, because Nubin has nothing from the pros yet. But if you look at Belton, college rankings overall wasn't too bad. His last season at Iowa was in 2021. He graded out a 77. His coverage grade is once again is with Iowa. His coverage grade was an 82. Run defense was a 64. His tackling was a 64. Right, but his final season at Iowa, he graded out at a 77. Now he only played 3 years of college though. Tyler Nubin, right, while at Minnesota, he played 5 years at Minnesota. Right, Belton only played 3. But Nubin, his 5th season at Minnesota, he graded out at 89. Now, once again, he had more years. Let's see. Nubin is 23. What is Belton now? Belton's 23. So they're both 23 years old. Right? So, I mean, actually, if you want to look at it, if Dane Belton had 5 years, right, in college, his last season would have been 2023. He's also said his Belton shot blue the day that Nubin came back from injury there. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's going to. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. But it's good. That's good. That's what you want. Absolutely. I like that. But, if Dane Belton, he played 5 years, same with Nubin, they both would have came out 2023, both would have been their final season. They would have been both possibly drafted because they're both 23. But as I said, Belton, he graded out of 77 in 2021. 89.2 was Nubin. So, but Nubin's had a lot more experience in college anyway. Nubin was on the field for 2,417 snaps in college. Belton was 1,900. So Nubin had like 500 more snaps in college. But so if you look at Belton, the thing I like about Belton is, I tell you what, he's like a ball magnet. Now for the, what has he played? Let's see. Is this special teams? No, it's defense. Okay. Belton's played 695 snaps. So in 695 snaps, he's had, and actually that's defensive snaps. He's also played on special teams as well too. Obviously, quite a bit on special teams. He's played 511 snaps on special teams. But in his 2 seasons, right, he's had 4 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries. So he's kind of like a ball magnet. Now, obviously, the one thing is you ain't getting no interceptions while you're on special teams. Unless they do a fake punt, they throw the punt and intercept, but that didn't happen with him. But he seems like he'd be a little bit of a ball magnet. So, he's kind of like a Johnny on the spot. Now, once again, this is all I'm going by. I'm only going by PFF. Right? His grades are not super duper spectacular, according to PFF. Right? 2022, he graded out at a 32.8. Just going by PFF. That's all I'm going by. And 2023 was a 51.7. Now, the thing is, maybe a little bit of a defensive change. Because that was with Wink. Now they're getting, obviously, a Bowen, a more zone-oriented kind of defense. Right? Quite possibly, maybe might help him. We got some fumbles run. Yeah, I remember he had, I think it was like a kickoff or a punt. I know he had, yeah. The interceptions weren't on special teams, but I think the fumbles, I don't know if they all were, but I can remember at least 1 or 2 of them were. Yeah, he just like, I don't know. It's like a fumble. He's like there, which is not a bad thing. His first NFL play. Yeah. Yeah. So he just seems like he's Johnny on the spot. Yeah. Yeah. It would be impressive if the interceptions were. Yeah. You got that right. So it's like what you're saying. Yeah. So it helped to motivate him. It says the Giants selected Tyler Nubin with the 47th pick in the draft with the intention that he would fill the void left by Xavier McKinney. That plan was in place until last week when Nubin was sidelined with a calf injury and replaced by Dane Belton, who is healthy and proving his worth in practices. Giants defensive coordinator Shane Bowen said on Thursday that Belton is currently the front runner for the starting job next to Jason Pinnock. Belton has recently said he believes the job should be his by right anyway. I'm confident in my abilities, Belton said. I feel like I earned the right to play. This year, I'm trying to take the job. That aside, Nubin is working hard to get back on the field. He is doing individuals on Thursday. So we'll have to wait and see, how, hopefully he can stay healthy. But, yeah, it's like what you're saying. Oh, yeah, so now you got 2 motivated guys because Belton, I didn't – hold on there. Who the heck did he say that? Belton said – New Jersey Advanced Media. I'm confident in my abilities, Belton said. I feel like I earned the right to play. So he apparently said that to New Jersey Advanced Media, whoever that is, I'm not sure. So you got Belton, who's who's should be mine, and then you got Tyler Nubin, who's not gonna. Even Bobby Okereke was saying his press conference today, he said, "Yeah, Nubin's a very vocal guy." The defensive snaps went down last year. He has a lot of great plays, but yeah. So he's got some learning to do. So I mean, the rest of training camp's going to be great. Going up against the Lions, going up against the Jets, of course. Then the preseason games is all going to be huge. Quite possibly they're going to, obviously both make the team, but it'll be interesting. It'll be a good battle because you pretty much figure, just I'm hearing Pinnock seems like he's pretty much penciled in as the one safety, but the other one could have a nice little battle. I'm even hearing Javarius Owens' name. Once again, it's just training camp and all that stuff and everything. But I'm hearing Owens made a couple nice plays here or there. So hopefully he'll get some time on the field because he didn't get much time at all last year. Giants thought he could start. They would have had drafted Nubin. By the way, Nubin will be a beast. I hope so. I mean, the Giants have done pretty good in the second round, right? I mean, you got Landon Collins in the second round, right? McKinney in the second round, Nubin in the second round. It's like it seems like we draft the safety in the second round. We have him for 4 years, and we just let him go. Then we draft McKinney, got him for 4 years in the second round. Then we just let him go. Be nice one of these years if we can. What you're saying? Maybe draft the beast. Second round and keep the guy, right? Wouldn't that be nice? One of these times. He made a few nice plays against third string. Owens will be on the practice squad. Well, that's another one of the things. Yeah, I mean, because I don't. I'm hearing his name. I don't know. I can't remember if I'm always hearing like what string. It's going up again. Is it a pass from Tommy DeVito? Is it a pass being thrown to Miles Boykin or I don't know. Safeties and defensive tackles are what we tend to draft well. Oh yeah, yep. I hope next year we draft a defensive tackle and we put somebody right next to Dexter Lawrence. Boy, I'll tell you, man, if we get like a real good beast at a defensive tackle next to Sexy Dexy, we get 2 edge rushers. Wow, and you got Bobby Okereke behind him. Ooh. Man, I'd love that. Yeah. No, you're right. In safeties, we do very well. I mean, we've done a very good job at safety. But I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know the way Shane was trying to. I guess maybe the way he was valuing him. I guess he just didn't seem like he really wanted to pursue signing McKinney, especially I guess for the amount of money he got, almost $17 million a year. You figure whatever the Eagles paid Barkley and what the Packers paid McKinney, you combine those two salaries together, and that's kind of what we paid Burns. So, but I'm happy we signed Burns. Now we finally have 2 edge rushers. Let's hope that both guys can stay healthy. All right, guys. It's been 1 hour and almost 3 minutes. 2 giant goofball. Oh, do you use StreamYard or are you streaming the pages separately? Well, this is just from YouTube. I just go. I just hit. I'm going live. There was a StreamYard. Is that an app or what is that? StreamYard. Are you streaming the pages separately? No, this is just strictly from YouTube. I just hit that I'm going live. I haven't ventured out and looked at all the other different things that are out there. We should talk. I can help. Oh, okay, cool. All right. Let's see. I got. Well, you can hit me up on my. I give you my email address. Would that help? And we can go back and forth. Ooh. guess let's see. I can put this in an app here. This is the one I usually use. MICHELE on E. No. 0512 at gmail.com. Bam. Michelle Bells 0512 at gmail. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's my email. That's the primary one that I use. So if you want, yes, I mean that way we can, anything you gotta. Yeah, because a lot of that stuff, I'm not. I mean, I'm okay, but I'm not. On a scale of 1 to 10 as far as tech savvy and stuff like that. I mean, I'm a 5. So a lot of the streaming services and stuff like that. I don't. What I do now is because I just go live. What I used to do is I used to record myself when I first started. I used to record myself on a camera, and then I'd have to plug it in here, and I'd have to edit the film, and then I can upload it, and then it would be at. Now I just go live, so I just start it, and I end the stream, and boom, it's over. I don't have to upload nothing. It just goes right on YouTube, and I'm good to go. Yeah. All right, man. So thanks for spending some time with me. Hit me up at that email address. That'd be great. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. As always, goofballs. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah. All right. I'll be looking for it. Thank you. Thank you, brother.